What is going on, everybody? We are back with another CCW review. I am Nick,
And I'm Joe.
and we are reviewing AEW Dynamite from February 11th of 2026. And ladies and gentlemen, Pizzle and I are entirely split on our opinions. I think this is one of the best Dynamites of the year, and he didn't like it.
There was nothing wrong with the matches. The wrestling was fine, but we've done all this before. This entire storylines of on multiple layers have been done before. The only exciting part was the stuff that hadn't been done before, which was the Kenny and Swerve stuff. Everything else is fucking rehash.
Eh. So, anyways, starting off the show, we get Bryan Danielson, Excalibur, and at some point, eventually, Tony Schiavone on commentary. Again, like having Bryan Danielson back. So, funny enough, I know why he ended up on commentary. At least, okay, I don't know. Okay, this isn't me
Because they're
reporting.
on the West Coast and he doesn't have to fly across country.
No, I have other speculations. I think it's because everybody thought that since Bree showed up in WWE that he was going to go back to WWE himself to do things.
He's still under contract there.
And so, no. But I'm just saying, like, people are expecting him to eventually end up back over there as soon as his contract's over. And I
Oh,
think,
I expect he'll go back and get inducted in the hall and all that jive.
Tony was like, nah, we're gonna put him on TV. Let you guys know he's still very much a part of AEW.
Yeah, I think especially with it being a West Coast show, the travel and stuff is a lot better for him because it's not nearly as long of a flight. And with his neck and stuff, he already said in several interviews that traveling is not easy for him.
Yes, but he also did recently say in an interview that he met up with somebody's physical. Somebody had brought him or pointed him in the direction of their physical therapist. I think he said it was Adam Copeland.
That would make sense. They've both had neck issues.
And apparently he went and checked out this person, and after like 2 sessions with the guy, actually thinks he might wrestle again.
Who was you going to beforehand, bro? That after 2 sessions, you're like, "Oh, put me back in the ring."
Right. So
That sounds like some malpractice type shit right there.
now, with that being said, I've always suspected he will eventually wrestle again. I still don't think he's anywhere close to
I
it.
agree.
But
Well, he even said during the Chris Van Vliet thing that he wouldn't be opposed to it. He just doesn't want it to be like televised because he doesn't want to hold himself to the level that he was at, where
right,
he was wrestling very
crazy.
strenuous matches and riskier matches.
Right. Um, but no. So this was so important. Apparently, Tony Khan even went on to Twitter and posted a live feed of him standing with standing with Brian. I, I always flip flop what I call him. Um,
Yeah,
but
years in the other company will do that.
but no, he was standing with Brian, and he was just like, yeah, he's going to be on commentary tonight. So there's probably more said. I started to watch the video, and then I realized it was 8:04, and I was like, oh shit, I should probably go watch Dynamite.
Yeah, I should actually go watch the show.
So we get an in-ring segment to actually start off the show. Tony Schiavone brings out Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland. And Tony starts his question with Swerve, and he's pretty much like, oh, why you mad, bro? Uh,
I
and
want to hear Tony Schiavone say it exactly like that.
no, so Tony was standing in the ring looking very uncomfortable from the very beginning, and
Like he always does.
nobody had even come out yet. Like he had this weird stance to him that he just like didn't want to be in the middle of the ring, and I'm like, but Tony, that's the perfect place for you.
Well, he never gets to just hold the microphone, or people complain about how he holds the microphone. So then he just gets the microphone taken from him, and then he just stands there awkwardly in the background.
True. Swerve basically is like, yo, I'm mad because I scratched and clawed to get to AEW in hopes to eventually face someone like Kenny Omega. But when I finally made it to the top, Omega was either laid up in a hospital bed or suspended. And now all of a sudden, Kenny wants to put himself in the title picture. It's almost like he's using his EVP power to get himself there. He's like, and I've dealt with this EVP shit before.
He's like, I put that shit to bed last summer.
And Kenny was like, he also mentioned, you call yourself the god of wrestling. So Kenny rebutted. He was like, no, I never called myself the god of professional wrestling, even though I'm pretty sure I've heard him say that. He's like,
He has several times when he was a heel.
that's the name that people gave me. He's like, but I don't blame you. Or no, I'm sorry. He did blame Swerve for last week's loss, even though technically it was kind of on himself. Look, I'm just going to be honest. He was getting old dude up on his shoulders to do the one winged angel, and then Andrade slipped out. That's on you, Kenny. That's on you.
Baby faces are stupid, especially in this company.
Right.
We'll talk more about that in the main event.
However, as I wrote his name, Keeney, because I added the two E's and not two N's. Keeney is just asking for one thing, a fight. And Omega says, you can accept or yield. And Swerve's like, I'm the most dangerous man. And he's like, oh, no, that's right. You always call yourself the most dangerous man in the world. But honestly, it's probably Brody King right now. And Swerve's like trying to threaten him again. He's like, I'm going to put you in the hospital. And Omega slapped the shit out of him. And by slap the shit out of him, he kind of but lightly tapped him because it was a very bad slap.
I just love that you keep making Swerve sound like Mr. T. I pity the fool.
I pity the fool. And we get a brawl. And it ends with Swerve eventually tackling Omega off the stage through a table. And
after hitting him with a screwdriver by the looks of it?
I don't remember.
It was some sort of object in his hand.
Now, Joe was like, this brawl, what was it you messaged me? You were like, why are they brawling? This is so pointless.
So the match is set, which is fine. It's great. But I'm even for them starting to brawl. But they brawled around the whole ass arena. If you're the promoter, why would you not want to protect this high caliber of a match and have security come out and break them up?
It's for the fans, Joe. Let them fight.
Yeah, I don't know. I just so much of this shit doesn't make sense because I have fucking 35 years of references that is not this poorly booked.
I didn't find any of this poorly booked.
No, this part was fine. The poor part would have been better.
There is only one thing in this entire show that I hated the booking for. Only one. And we will get to it.
And I'll elaborate on mine.
I guess technically two things that I wasn't a big fan of the booking for.
And they both are rehashes, I'm sure.
Well, yeah. I don't mind a rehash from time to time.
No, but it's like the same storyline every fucking year.
Right. Backstage, Fletcher and Callis are talking with Renee, and they're excited to be TNT champ again. And Fletch is like, "Hey, let me win this on my own." And he was like, "All right, cool, you got this." I thought this was the build up to what was eventually going to lead to Callis beating him out of the group as well. But no,
you really want somebody to get beat out of that group.
I do. I want two people specifically to get beat out of that group.
Oh, we wanted Moxley beat out of the group. We just want somebody beat. We want somebody bullet clubbed out of a fucking group.
Yeah, out of a stable, specifically a heel stable. Match one, Josh. Guys, here's what you guys listen. We still at this point hadn't gotten a commercial break yet, and this idea feels so foreign after watching our Monday Night Raw.
Oh boy, does it!
So, match one: Josh Alexander, Konosuke Takeshita, and Mark Davis versus Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Pac. And ladies and gentlemen, we are starting the night off with my stinker match of the night.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. It wasn't very good.
Now, here's my thing. I didn't think it was bad.
It wasn't.
I just don't care, and B, it's another Don Callis versus Death Riders match.
We're doing this twice. We've done this twice a week for
about
a couple months now, at least a month. and it's tiresome already.
Like, I get we've got multiple matches coming out of this soon that are already booked and are about to happen within the next 2 weeks. I don't need to keep seeing the 3-on-3. Well,
No,
you can change the people involved all you want.
no, we complained about it when it was happening on Collision with the women too.
Yeah.
It's the same match over and over, regardless of the participants.
We did see a couple cool things out of it though. Claudio absolutely deadlift suplexed Mark Davis, and it was pretty sexy.
Yeah, he's scary strong.
And then my next note was we went a full 25 minutes into this entire show before we got our first commercial break. I was like, that's what's up. Mox wins the match with the paradigm shift on Josh Alexander and got the pin.
Josh Alexander eating a lot of L's lately.
Yeah, he is. Like, you break one of our top people's legs, you're gonna eat some L's.
Shit, Ibushi's not even one of their top guys.
Listen, he's one of Tony's favorites. You know that.
I think he's one of Kenny's favorites.
Match 2, which is my match of the night, wrestling wise. Tommaso Ciampa versus Kyle Fletcher.
Of course, it's the match of the night. Nothing else on this show was gonna even remotely come close to touching this.
Oh, there was one match that did come close, but it wasn't necessarily so much because of the wrestling. However, wrestling wise, because I am being objective, or at least not biased, I won't say objective. This was just a banger match, though. These two beat the hell out of each other. There were times, dude.
Yeah.
So, Ciampa does the Psycho Driller on the steel steps, and he dropped Fletcher right on the corner of that fucking.
Mm-hmm.
And you know,
Where Fletcher had the steel diamond plate.
cut into his arm.
Well, he cut his arm, and then his back was indented for like the entire match. Like the marks was on his back.
Fletcher slid into the ring, caught a knee to the face, so they kind of teased that the match was going to end pretty quickly, or at least early compared to what you'd expect it to go.
Well, I didn't think it was going to end. It was a good close call. But there was too many of those in this match.
Fletcher hit an avalanche back suplex off the top that was done in a way that I thought he was about to drop Ciampa out of the ring. Because I didn't know what the fuck he was doing with that move at first. I was like, where is this going? And then he spun.
It looked fine to me.
No, it ended up being perfectly fine. I'm just saying from the camera angle, it looked like he was about to just jump out of the fucking ring. Because it wasn't...
He made that adjustment late and then lifted.
It wasn't a normal back suplex. He was... Ciampa...
Well, no, he's so big, he needed the extra room. Plus, it made for a good spectacle because they did get some hang time there.
Yeah, they did. And then he followed it up with a last ride. People keep calling it a Liger driver. That's fine. It's a last ride for me.
Well, it's a sit out
Liger bomb.
Elevated power bomb. Yeah.
And then Fletcher hit a brain buster, and I was like, they're gonna let Fletcher win this, but Ciampa kicked out. Ciampa reversed an avalanche brain buster into a German suplex and hit two more knees
Which
on.
was dope.
Yeah, it was. And then hit two more knees on Fletcher, and Fletcher kept kicking out. And I was like, oh my god, I hate you all.
Yeah, at that point I knew Fletcher was winning, and I was pissed.
Fletcher hits a Michinoku. I just fucked that all up. A Michinoku.
Michinoku. From Taka Michinoku.
An Indeed driver. And then another brainbuster.
Indeed.
And Fletcher won. Now, I am not in your same boat. I love that Fletcher won this because this gives us a chance to make Ciampa a psycho. Because he just lost.
I'm not necessarily mad that a really good wrestler won a belt because it could set up a rematch.
Right.
It could set up further banger type matches, but no, that's not what we got.
Well,
tell them what we got.
Oh, we'll get there. That's one of my first complaints of the booking for the night. Now, I love that Fletcher won. I do not mind the TNT title.
It's an excuse to put the belt on him before he goes to his home country.
I like the idea of the possibility of the TNT title being the title that's not just won and kept for months.
I'm not saying anybody had to keep it for months, but he had it 10 goddamn days.
Yeah, that's fine. I watched somebody one time win a World Heavyweight Championship in WWE and then lose it the next night. It's fine.
You leave Kane alone.
It's fine. However,
he shouldn't have won in the first place. He won in a first blood match, and he wears a mask and a bodysuit.
That's true. But my point still stands. Now, however, my problem isn't who won. My problem is the bullshit that happened afterwards that made me want to turn the fucking show off.
Yeah, I had a hard time getting through the rest of this show because of this.
All of a sudden, Renee goes in to interview Fletcher. And he said he was clear about coming home with the TNT title. So he won it. He's going to take it into his home. And he's like, I'll defend it Saturday versus anyone. And I'm like, oh, are we going to... Like, listen. There was a small part in me that was hoping maybe Johnny Gargano's fucking contract had been up. Because I think it would be funny.
Have DIY facing back to back.
If he would have shown up and then won it Saturday.
Boy, we're hot. We're hot-shotting the shit out of this belt.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that. So, I thought it would be fucking...
24/7 belt.
I thought it would be fucking hilarious, especially given that it's Ciampa. And then all of a sudden, we could get, like, Ciampa and Gargano. Right?
Yeah, I would be down with that.
However, he's not out of his contract, so that's probably not going to happen.
No. He's in NXT right now, apparently.
But instead of anyone new or anything cool happening to show up, fucking Mark Briscoe's fucking music hits. Now, there are people that are like, oh, I have Mark Briscoe fatigue. I don't have Mark Briscoe fatigue. I have Mark Briscoe versus Fletcher fatigue. And I don't want to see this match again.
No, there's not a fucking stipulation you can put on this match that is going to make me care.
No. Now, am I going to like the carnage that will come out of it, and will it be a fine wrestled match? Yes. I just don't care, though.
The caliber of what could have been.
I just don't care about the match.
I was perfectly happy with Ciampa keeping the belt for a while and just having banger after banger after banger with the young and up-and-comer people. And then eventually probably losing to, like, Fletcher. But I just... what do you do with Ciampa now?
You have him go back for it. I told you.
So he waits in line for Briscoe and Fletcher again?
Yeah, it's what fucking Briscoe did.
Briscoe ain't won shit. He's just been...
Exactly. Neither did Ciampa.
Well, he won on his first night there. It was an open challenge.
Yeah. And this is an open challenge.
He didn't say anything about an open challenge, did he?
Yeah. Fletcher said, I'll face anyone Saturday.
Oh, that's right. And he opened the door for this fucking chicken farmer to fucking walk through.
Now, here's what I think they are doing with this. I think they are building up the idea of... Because this was a very face-like thing to do. To throw out an open challenge opportunity. Now, I do think they are going to build up towards the eventual leaving or kicking out, whatever.
All right, the babyface turn.
Yeah. Because Fletcher's being cheered. He has been for a while. Unless he's playing an actual face, and then people still cheer, but they're rooting for the other guy.
Yeah.
But again, my problem is, though, I don't care. Because it's Fletcher. Not Fletcher. It's Briscoe.
Briscoe.
Like, let Briscoe go do tag stuff. Let him go tag with OC. Even though I do love what came out of that. But...
he doesn't want to tag with anybody but his brother.
I know. Put him in a 6-man then. Whatever. I don't care.
There you go.
I just... Or let him go... You know what? You want to give Briscoe something new to do? Let him go fight fucking Ricochet for the...
National title.
Whichever version of that title. Or let him go fight fucking Okada. Like, just let him go fight somebody else for a title. He ain't got to win it. But just let him go fight for another title and get him away from the TNT title so we can get new people.
Yeah. We've seen this match. This will be the 7th match.
It's Game 7.
The 7th match. We haven't cared since like the third match.
No. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. We're getting a ladder match out of it. At least it's a ladder match, and I do love the chaos that ladder matches bring. I just, again, I have no investment in this because I'm tired of these two people wrestling. It's like when people were all excited. What was it? When WWE does their best of 7 series things, and I'm like, no, I don't care, because after 3 matches in, I'm done.
Because it's the same match after that.
Give me a
You've
breather.
exhausted the differences.
Like, listen, again, we're Attitude Era fans, guys. We got to watch a lot of people wrestle the same people all the time. You don't know how many times I've seen the Hardys wrestle Edge and Christian, or how many times I've seen, any combination of them and fucking Dudleys. Like, that was the only 3 tag teams these motherfuckers had in the Attitude Era. We saw it all. New Age Outlaws were thrown in there too. But, like, they mixed it up in a way that it didn't feel like we were getting the exact same thing every single time.
Well, yeah, because it'd be a tag team program, but you'd get like each person one-on-one with one another to kind of not give you the match before you give them the match. It's just,
Well, you can't do that when it's just 2 people.
I know, but that's why you don't have fucking best of 7s, because after the third match, all variations have been hit.
Right.
There's not a stipulation that's going to be interesting enough to carry a whole match, unless it's something like Hell in a Cell.
Right. So, I do like what he did say, though. He's like, Mark, you say reach for the sky, so it's going to be a ladder match. I at least like how he called it into being a ladder match. I was like,
yeah, it was a good line.
Creative line. Match 3, Daniel Garcia and Clark Connors versus Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy, was a bit more entertaining than I expected it to be, but
still not very good match. Still not very good of a match.
Still not. I won't say it wasn't a very good match. It didn't interest me because, okay, so the match.
This discontent between Roddy and OC and Roddy not wanting to be in the conglomeration, they're like ticking it up a bit.
The match starts with Roddy not wanting to even come out with OC, and at this point, I'm confused because I've never seen Roddy have a problem with Orange Cassidy specifically. I've seen him.
They're ticking up the animosity for no reason.
I've seen him have a problem with Briscoe.
Yep.
So for him to be kind of shitty towards Orange confused me. Because the last time these two actually tagged, they were all about it.
Well, they've got history as well, like wrestling for titles and stuff before. So they're kind of, I don't want to call them rivals, but they've kind of got a history like that. And he's literally just hanging around these people because of Kyle, and Kyle's not there right now.
Right. So the story of this match is basically OC and Roddy not getting along for some reason. They're arguing in the middle of the match, which kind of like was weird. Because again,
like the animosity got ticked up because it was just convenient.
Right. Eventually, Orange goes to tag in Strong, and Strong just leaves him hanging. And you can read his mouth. He's like, I didn't even want to do this shit. And
full Roddy heel turn, finally, hopefully.
Well, apparently, which was never really mentioned until after this happened, they finally are like, oh yeah, Orange Cassidy accepted this match without Strong's okay to do so. And I'm like, huh? Where was this backstage segment?
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyways, then my favorite thing happens. Darby has this wonderful ability to appear out of fucking nowhere and do the funniest shit, and it's so subtle when it happens. The last time was like when he popped up from underneath the ring and handcuffed somebody to the ropes. Mm-hmm. So it's little things like that. So this time, everything's going on that's happening in the ring, and Clark Connors had charged towards Orange Cassidy, and Orange Cassidy moved and he ran into the little barricade area. So Orange Cassidy gets in the ring to go continue doing whatever he's doing in there with Garcia. And all of a sudden, you just see Darby pop up like a goddamn whack-a-mole. snatch Clark Connors and drag him over the thing, and they disappear. And I was like, that's fantastic. And a part of me was like annoyed though, because I was like, well, surely the ref would have seen that, but the ref's back was turned, so like I guess he didn't. But you'd got to think as a ref, where did the other guy go? What happened here?
Stop making sense, Nick. It's wrestling.
However, so they go, but then again, I mean, maybe the ref doesn't care because Orange Cassidy's teammate just fucking ditched him. Maybe it happened on the other side too. So
Yeah, maybe it's like, well, now it's at least fair.
So Orange Cassidy ends up pulling the win out because it's Garcia, and Garcia's trash. And I say that jokingly. I like Garcia. I just don't like this version of
You
Garcia.
don't like the gimmick he's in right now with the Death Riders.
Right. So he gets the win off a roll up, which it's the only time it happens tonight. So I was happy for AEW for that. I'm like, hey, we didn't get multiple just roll up victories.
Yep, I noticed that as well.
But he gets a little roll up, gets the pin, he's standing there, and then post match, Tony Storm is up in the press box with a mic, and basically, at least by the way, this wasn't a super irritating Tony promo. Look again, Tony away from Mina, so much more entertaining. And she basically says that if she loses, so be it. However, they're gonna win. There were some jokes thrown in there. That was just shorthanding
it. They will win. Yuta's eating that pin. I don't see any way around it.
We'll get there. Wheeler Yuta comes out. He's mad. He cuts her off mid-conversation. And then Shafir drags Mina out in her little mother's milk hold. And Yuta cuts off a lock of Mina's hair, which was honestly one of the coolest things that have come from this entire feud, because like they've been threatening to cut somebody's hair this entire time, and then they finally do it.
Yeah.
And it happens to be somebody Tony is like obsessed with.
That's her wife.
Right.
That's her wrestling wife.
It's her work wife. So
yeah.
She's all upset. And while this is going on, Garcia basically laid out OC from behind and made him watch everything happen. He pulled a Griffith, only not as weird. So
such a niche example there.
So I loved how all of this played out. I still don't care about this match. There's nothing you can do to make me care.
I agree. Well,
and let me tell you why I don't care about this match. And there's only going to be one way at all that I will care
make it interesting,
about this match.
One of the women getting their head shaved.
It has to be anyone but Yuta to get their head shaved, even if it's just Orange Cassidy.
Even if it's OC, it won't be cut bald, and it'll grow back. His hair is not super long.
Right.
Like 2 months, and his shit's back, and it's normal, easy peasy.
But the problem is Yuta. Everyone expects Yuta to eat the pin, and everyone expects Yuta to be the one to go bald. It's way too
predictable,
in your face predictable. So I'm hoping somebody else eats it. You want me to be super ecstatic? Make it one of the women. It's not going to happen. But that's the way.
I don't know. Tony's starting pretty crazy.
She is. And I think she would do it.
I think it would be Tony before it would be Marina.
Listen, if Tony's hair grows as quick as her husband's beard, she has nothing to worry about.
6 months later.
She'll have her hair back in 8 months, 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, and then she can just walk around talking about how she looks like an angry penis.
And the amount of really cool things she can do with a wig because she's doing the whole actress persona. I'm just saying.
It could get weird. It could get really unique.
They could play a lot of fun things into this. But again, it's just going to be Yuta, who used to have short hair any fucking ways. So like, I don't know.
We say that. Maybe they'll fool us.
Backstage, Callis is with Andrade. Last Wednesday, I guess. And it's basically them saying they'll beat Hangman and then go on to beat MJF. Also backstage, Hangman Adam Page. Last Wednesday, I guess. He says he's wrestling Andrade. And he says something in Spanish. And then said he'll see Andrade down under. And that sounded a little risque to me. I'm here for it, though. Backstage. Last Wednesday, I'm
Uh,
kidding. This was actually backstage.
They love their back-to-backs, don't they?
Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey basically said they're coming for singles titles too, which I hope they don't win them. Like lose the trios titles first. I am already tired of the TBS championship being held captive by a tag team division.
The TNT
Or
Championship.
TBS. Sorry, wrong T.
No, there you go. Yeah, I was about to say, you confused the fuck out of me.
My bad. But no, I love Willow, but pick one.
Yeah, I forgot about the Babes of Wrath, even though backstage.
And then we get
later.
match 4. Tag team number 1 contendership match. Young Bucks versus the Rascals versus who I was hoping and thought it was going to be the Acclaimed. I was wrong. It was
Would have been better if it was the Acclaim.
Private Party, ladies and gentlemen. Now,
So who do you win in this match out of those 3 teams?
Now, Private Party being involved makes sense from a Tony Khan perspective. And I don't mean that he likes Private Party, he's pushing them type of thing. It makes sense in terms of for the last 3 to 4 months. Because Private Party has been gone for a long time.
Yep.
For the last 3 or 4 months, it has been heavily speculated that Private Party was going to let their contract run out. And then...
Yeah, because they allegedly had WWE interest or whatever.
Right. And then the next time you see Private Party is probably going to be in WWE. That's what everyone was saying. So him showing up, or them showing up, makes a lot of sense for this in terms of putting that shit hopefully to bed for a little bit. Because I still don't know when their contracts are up. But it makes sense for that storytelling. However, you just brought back a team in a capacity that you would think would skyrocket them to the win. Right? Because like they haven't been here in 8 months. But not only do they not win,
They eat the pin.
they don't even eat the pin. It was
The Rascal guy eats the pin?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, which I was really hoping was Private Party. Listen, there are going to be some people that are really, really happy that Private Party's back. I'm not one of them. Listen, I'm not a Private Party hater. I just don't find them interesting. I'm happy for you guys that like them.
I like Mark Quinn.
But
Isaiah Cassidy doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, Mark Quinn went and ate himself.
Well, he got bigger.
Yeah.
Even though I was trying to refute it.
He was. He went and got bigger. Now there is one like way over exaggerated picture online where he looked like one of those like strongman competition people, and I'm like, no, we ain't gonna do that. But
No, at least he's using his time off when he was hurt to
bulk up,
work on his physique.
right? And here's the thing: as a match, this match was fun.
Sure.
There was
It was just a fucking foregone conclusion as soon as the entrances were happening.
Right. Reed of the Rascals hit a series of fantastic and crazy fucking moves that I loved. He hit like this, what started off as he set him up for like an F5 is what it looked like, but as he flipped him over, their feet hit the ropes and then he draping DDT'd him off of it, which was really cool. He then did this cutter to the outside from inside the ring onto a group of people that were hanging out there.
Dude, he gave a cutter to a guy while wiping out an entire crowd outside.
And then he hit this beautiful 450 splash shortly after that. I was like, man, look, I was excited for it being Xavier coming in, but this Reed dude might be the best of the 3 of them.
Yeah, they're some athletic guys.
So the Bucks end up hitting the Meltzer driver on Reed for the win. And immediately...
And the fucking Bucks for the billionth time.
Immediately, I'm like, oh, this must also be Game 7. I'm fucking tired of it. FTR come out.
It'll be a very well wrestled match.
It always is.
It just another way for the Bucks to get the belts back. It's like
maybe. I hope FTR
dude.
wins.
They're getting the belts back. The baby faces won like every match of theirs.
Yeah. So what was it? I don't know who the guy is that's usually with Sean Ross Sapp, but I was watching their report, and they said
Alex Pulowski,
that
I
guy.
believe is his name.
He said something that I agree with, that I think would be hilarious. They hope that what's his face, the dude that's with FTR,
Stokely.
Stokely. They hope that Stokely is in this wheelchair for like a year. I think it would be hilarious. It won't happen, but I do think it would be funny if they dragged this out way longer. I mean, it already feels like way longer than it should be, but oh, dude, I would love it, love it. So FTR comes out, which, to be fair, is actually a really good segment.
Yeah.
Basically, they come out and they're saying the only reason the Bucks won a major tag title is because the Bucks created their own company to do it.
Yep.
We've
been successful everywhere we've been. We didn't have to make our own wrestling company to be the top guys.
And he was like, he was doing the thing constantly where he would go to ask them a question, stick the mic in their face, and then pull it away. Which is like my favorite thing he does.
Well, he paid for it.
So the second time he did it, because the Bucks, aren't going to play that game. Again, I don't remember which Buck it is, but he sweet chinned the.
It was Matt
Was it
Jackson.
Matt?
Sweet, yeah.
Well, he super kicked the shit out of the mic in Dax's hand and popped it into his face. Dude, I popped because it was an amazing, timing and everything was perfect for this spot.
Yeah, those guys have stupid chemistry.
I was like, that is amazing. So bad, or too bad that we have to watch this match again.
Yeah. It's every year.
Somebody thinks, somebody had brought up again that they think it very well could end up being these two teams versus Cope and Christian at All In. I don't want that to be how Cope and Christian wrestle FTR, though.
No, they owe them well, they did one, didn't they?
They did. They lost.
But yeah, they haven't done that rematch where because FTR won crazily because they handcuffed Cope, pile drive, Beth, and then pinned the other one, pinned Christian, right? Because they doubled him up.
Yeah. Fun segment though. I don't want this match, but they at least
I don't either.
made it
It'll be very fucking well wrestled and will be fucking really great. But it's just the same fucking story from they wrestle once and they wrestle each other once a year for these belts.
They do, and
it's just getting tiresome. Do something else. Elevate somebody else.
Honestly, what I wish would have happened is I wish it would have been the Acclaimed instead of Private Party, and I wish the Acclaimed would have won, because at least then it would have been the Acclaimed versus FTR.
Right, something new that we haven't seen 1,000 times. It furthers the Acclaimed story, which has just been set to the back burner.
In fact, if you want to go that route and then have Acclaimed beat FTR, even though they're still not really getting along, you could do a good story with that, and then you could bring in Cope and Christian, because I agree with what almost everyone else has been saying. Cope and Christian versus FTR doesn't need a title attached to it.
I agree. I think a title actually muddies the situation.
So that way you can get the Acclaimed the titles, and they can keep accidentally beating people in defenses, even though they don't like each other.
Even though they're arguing.
It would be funny.
It would. They've already kind of done it a little bit.
But no, we're going to get Bucks and FTR part 12.
Again, it'll be a very good match. But we've seen it.
Now, we go from what was the best match of the night, and this one's my favorite. I was more invested in this match specifically than any other match on this card. This, ladies and gentlemen, was Tekla versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's Championship.
The match was actually very well wrestled.
These women showed the fuck out.
Yeah, I just hate the finish.
I liked the finish. It made
I
sense.
don't like tech. Well, it makes number one the baby face look like a fucking idiot.
Or does it set up something possibly for her to be mad at her friends for? They knew she was defending her championship. Why did they decide to go ahead and go to Australia to do a press run when they should have been here with their friend?
Because your boss told you to go do a press run, and
Listen, you're
that should
thinking
have
of it in
been.
the literal sense. This is a storyline. We know why
But
they're
did you
there.
accept the match when you knew they weren't going to be there?
Maybe she didn't. Maybe she thought she was going to have her friends with her.
Well, that's on her for talking her way into a loss.
Yeah, and she lost.
But they should have showed that stuff.
Eh, how do you show that?
Well, like you said, there better be some follow up with promos and hurt feelings and all
Now,
that other bullshit.
now listen. I don't think that's the route that they were going to go because that would be smart, right? I do think it's just going to be. I do think it's just going to be.
I'm Chris Statlander. I'm the dumb baby face, and
Yeah.
I got outnumbered 3-1 in a fucking match with no disqualifications because I'm a fucking idiot.
Well, so that is the only thing I had a problem with this match. It is no disqualifications. And when the triangle or when the Sisters of Sin did come in to interfere, they did it in a way that they were worried that she was going to get disqualified because one of them distracted the ref.
Sky Blue distracted the ref
While Julia got her ass whooped.
Julia, yeah.
And then Sky Blue got her ass whooped, and it led to a distraction finish where she got speared and then got her hands tied up, and then took the stop. Maybe she's the one in the all black outfit on Raw. She's doing double duty.
Nah, she's a little too small, a little too short.
But honestly, the whole match I thought was really well done. It was a good, fun wrestled match. They beat the hell out of each other. They were taking shots of straps to the face.
If this is where you were going, why didn't you just pull the trigger the first time?
So
The win would have been more impressive. It would have been Tekla winning it on her own, which would have made her look much stronger.
I don't like the setup for the match because the setup itself just the setup doesn't make sense in the grand scheme of things because it was very much so Tekla lost, right? Which is fine. She lost her first match. But like Tekla did nothing to earn another match. She was just like, "Hey, I won another match." And the stat was like, "Fine, we'll have a match, but I get to pick the stipulation." And so then like
She got her ass beat with a belt.
she got her ass beat with a belt and it was like, "Okay, well the stipulation's not going to be a strap match." Like, listen, I'm fine with how they came up with the strap match,
Sure.
but why is she just getting a rematch? There needed to be something for a reason for that rematch.
Even if they wanted to fight again, I'm okay with the match being a fight and a strap match because it's at that point it's become like a blood feud. But why is the belt got to be involved? I already beat you for the belt. You don't get another rematch, but I will fight you and beat the hell out of you.
Right. So but that's the thing. So there needs to be a reason the belt is put on the line. There just was never one, other than stat being stat and being like, "Oh, I can defend against anyone."
Yeah, she comes across looking like a fucking idiot.
Which is fine. She's done that most of the time in her promos.
You're not wrong. Her whole character, the very high highs and very low lows, man.
So I'm excited because I've been behind Tekla from day one. She's the world champ now,
Tekla.
and
I think she's a hell of a worker.
I
I
think
just like how this transpired.
I think she's going to have way more interesting things happen as a women's world champion than Stat did, because
She will have more interesting storyline type things, but the way she's going to win matches is always going to be attached to those fucking two.
it will. It's the joys of being in a trio, or a stable for that matter. She's a heel. You were fine with other heels using people.
No, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of the Death Riders doing it. I'm tired of the Don Callis family is the only motherfuckers that will just take L's. despite having half the roster out there to make distractions.
Right. So, my main problem after the match is done is the Brawling Birds come out, and I'm supposed to care.
Yeah, and that's what they went off the fucking air with.
Hater and Windsor coming out to chase off Tekla and the Sisters of Sin. So a part of my problem too is, like they didn't give Tekla any time for celebration at all. Like she got the title and like don't get me wrong, it is big time because they started jumping. Fucking, I get it. They were jumping old girl in the ring, and somebody needed to come to her aid. Why did they wait until after the match to come to her aid though?
Yeah.
Because they're assholes too. But where are we even going with this? Like, okay, cool. They came out and helped.
Question.
They came out and helped Stat. But are they both at the same time going to go for the world title? Because now they're supposed to be a team.
No,
because
it's foreshadowing that the fucking Sisters of Sin are going to win the fucking tag titles.
I would say the Sisters don't have the tag titles, so there's no reason for them to be staring them down there.
But they have a title shot.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. They are facing. They're going to face when.
No, wrong team, buddy.
Who's facing them then?
Penelope and fucking Bane.
Oh fuck! I forgot Penelope and Bane even existed.
They were the ones that won the #1 contendership match.
I know, but that was on Collision, and that was a very bad show.
It was. It wasn't a bad show. It was just boring.
Well, boring is bad when you're expecting so much more. But that's my problem. I gotta stop expecting that they're gonna do what I want them to do. So I'm not so fucking disappointed all the time.
So like, well, then again, so I feel like this is where you and I are differing in how our watching approach goes. You're watching it, wanting them to do something because you think it would be a better booking option. And I'm actually just trying to watch as a fan. And I'm cheering for people. I'm booing for people. Now, again, things do make me mad, too.
I just want the people I like and the people I find to be talented to win.
Right.
Because it makes logical sense to me.
Right. But that's being a fan. That's how we've all been.
Sure.
Again, how many times were we mad at each other when we were not actually at each other, but mad that the other person's favorite wrestler won? Listen, I had all the highs at WrestleManias when it was Rock and Austin, and you had them in all the other times when they wrestled. But that's just rooting as a fan. That is what wrestling is. You root for people to win because you like them, and then when they don't, you're like, well, you fucking suck. But there are times where things just do suck. And again, the 7th time we're going to get fucking Briscoe and Fletcher. Dude, that is the most complained about thing. Like on Sean Ross Sapp's fucking show tonight.
Yeah.
I chimed in just as soon as they started talking about the match, and there were like 8 or 9 straight people that chimed in with super chats and humper chats and shit. All of them were like, I don't want this match again. I don't care what stipulation it is.
Ciampa breathes such fresh air into the division that we thought we were past this.
Yeah.
We thought we were getting new challengers and new situations, and here we are.
Maybe Ciampa goes for the international title.
Against Moxley?
Okada.
Or no, he's the Continental. Yeah, but they're not going to have Ciampa beat Okada.
They might.
No, they're not. Tony's got such a hard-on for Okada, dude. The guy's had a belt. He's practically... They practically put a belt on him as soon as he arrived. Not quite as early as Ciampa, but...
Maybe he beats Ricochet and becomes the 2nd national champion. I mean, there's options. There's a lot of things they can do.
There are options,
Look,
but
there are
then
32 titles for the
what
men
do you do
alone.
You're not wrong. Watch our titles video, people. If you really want to hear some people bitch about belts, there you go. We did 30-minute plus on that probably.
But yeah, no, again, there are bad things, but it's not bad to feel down when somebody you want to win loses, because it's like that's a part of wrestling. It always has been.
It's not the defeat you feel after watching a SmackDown.
Look, that's judging pre whatever's going on now. We hear that there's a lot of good going on now. I don't trust any of you.
It's the road to WrestleMania. They have to try right now, especially because ticket sales are down like 20%.
I don't trust anyone's opinion. Oh, dude, they're struggling to get people in seats for Mania.
Yeah, and now they're blacking out casinos and stuff from even showing the thing locally because they're trying to force more people to buy tickets to go. Maybe if your fucking furthest away from the fucking action seat wasn't $600 a fucking ticket, people would actually go to your show.
Oof.
But that's a WWE podcast problem there.
They're like, you can spend $1,500 and get obstructed view seats for 2 nights.
Oh man, just make money to spite themselves, the bastards.
Right. Anyways, no, it was. Listen, these are the type of shows. Even though you're like, man, the people I wanted to win didn't win. These are the type of shows that in 10 years, when things are really bad, you look back and go,
we didn't realize how good we had it.
It wasn't that bad.
It's one of those things where tonight I feel like it's a 2.5 out of 5 show, but a year from now it'll be like, man, that was like a 4. That was like a 3.5 out of 5 there.
Right. The one good thing that comes from watching AEW is the wrestling is almost never terrible.
Yep.
And to me,
oh, that's stupid. I don't understand why they're booking it that way. But the match was good.
But to me, as a fan at this point, at this stage of my life,
I want them to do both, and I want them to do more.
No, at this stage of my life, I am 80% more tuned into the wrestling than anything else. Like, that is most of my enjoyment is the wrestling itself. If you have a terrible match, I could give a fuck less about your story. I just want a good match. I want to see people, not literally, but at least appear to almost kill each other. Okay, that's what I want in my wrestling.
You want the struggle, but they have to have something to struggle over.
Titles.
So you
listen. We're about to get a middleweight championship. We're about to get a featherweight championship. We're about to get a mixed tag championship. I'm kidding. I hope we don't get any of these. I'm tired of titles, guys.
No, because they don't mean anything.
They're everywhere.
They mean nothing. They're props.
Tony is like,
they're not actual championships. They're just props now.
Tony's like, I can't make an intercontinental championship, so I'm going to make it international and a continental championship because I need the IC title. And he's like, and we're going to go ahead and also make the international, the national, because we have the national and international. But the national, dude, it's why? Why do all these exist?
They shouldn't.
The national definitely doesn't need to exist. The international title itself, listen, they should have never tried to combine the international and the continental. Because the international title is the second most beautiful title on this fucking show, in my opinion. I love the international championship and its design.
I agree. It's a good-looking belt.
Women's World Championship being a very close third. I actually do really like their Women's World Championship as well.
Yeah, their new one, their first one they had was
terrible.
Awful.
Well, it looked big on Rio.
Ooh, so it's like a ring on everybody else.
So I love it. So when they combined them, I was actually upset because I was like, no.
Yeah, because the unified title was boring. It was just a fucking crown in the middle, and then the little design shit.
Right. However, again, like I said, well, look, we already talked about this. We're not going on this anymore. Check out that title.
Check out that video. It's a good one.
With that being said, guys, we love y'all. We'll talk to y'all next time. Deuces.
Later.